morning, Year 7. I hope you're well and having a lovely day. For your do now, please could you match the quotation about a home to the right character. What a capital little house this is, he called out cheerily. So compact, so well planned. Everything here, and everything in its place. A handsome, dignified old house of mellowed red brick, with well-kept lawns reaching down to the water's edge. It seemed a place where heroes could fitly feast after victory, where weary harvesters could line up in schools along the table and keep their harvest home with mirth and song, or where 2 or 3 friends of simple tastes could sit about as they pleased, and eat and smoke and talk in comfort and contentment. Our dear old hole on the river. Pause the video to connect the description, the quotation, with the right character. Pause the video to do this now. So the first one is mole, the second one is toad, the third one is badger, and the fourth one is ratty. Make sure you've got these correct. So yesterday we read about the mole's home and his instinct that led him back to it. At the end of the chapter, Mole reflects on what it means to be at home again. Please could you read through the passage on the slide and identify 2 quotations that show the importance of home to Mole. Write them out and explain what they suggest about why home is important. Pause the video to do this now. Okay, so I've highlighted on the slide the points you may have picked out. In great joy and contentment, had long been unconsciously a part of him, smilingly received him back. The special value of some such anchorage in one's existence. But it was good to think he had this to come back to, this place which was all his own, these things which were so glad to see him again and could always be counted upon for the same simple welcome. So hopefully you have at least 2. If not, could you copy down 2 please into your book. So the mole recognises that home brings him comfort and joy. It doesn't matter how long he's been away, it still welcomes him back. It is an anchor that makes him feel safe. It is a part of him, even if he hadn't realised it before, unconsciously. So today's title is Spring Tri-Weekly 2. You'll be completing your second tri-weekly, and what I'd like you to do is download it from class charts, please, and print it out if you haven't done so already. If you don't have a printer, don't worry, you can hopefully highlight it in Word. You should spend 15 minutes planning, and that should include time thinking about what to comment on from the extract, as well as anything you can remember from elsewhere in the text. You should then spend 30 minutes writing. Before you do that, I'm going to give you some guidance. So the success criteria, which I would like you to copy down, you need ideally advanced ideas, so sophisticated thoughts, relevant to character or theme. You need language analysis with terminology and ideally one-word analysis, so things such as similes, metaphors, imagery, and so on. You need structural analysis, so things such as foreshadowing, repetition, exclamatory sentences, ideally with terminology. You need to use quotes, so nice and simple, just evidence from the text to support your points, and you should comment on how the reader perceives the text. So pause the video to copy this down. Okay, this is your step-by-step. Once again, I would like you to copy it down. First, you need to read the question and highlight or underline keywords. Then you read the extract and highlight or underline key parts that would enable you to answer the question, as well as analysing language and structure. And when you're highlighting or underlining, also it's a good idea to annotate with your key ideas as you go through. Then you choose 2 other passages, short sections from the novel, that would enable you to answer the question and once again analyse language and structure. So about half of your answer should be focused on analysing the extract, a quarter should be on another moment, and a quarter should be on a further moment as well. Optional, you can write up the codes from the mark scheme to help keep you on track, so language, structure, terminology, quotes, and reader response. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So pause the video to make sure you've written out this step by step. Okay, so this is the structure I recommend you adopt. Introduction. Use the words of the question and set out your position. In the extract, home is presented as, elsewhere it's presented as so-and-so. Paragraph 1, focus on the extract. So in the extract, home is presented as, same for paragraph 2. Paragraph 3, elsewhere in the extract, home is presented as something. And then in paragraph 4, which I've forgotten to write, it should say 4 there, you should talk about another moment. So 2 paragraphs talking about the extract, 2 paragraphs talking about 2 different moments that present home in a certain way. Conclusion, pretty much the same as your introduction, just using different words. So setting out your position about home and how it's presented in the extract and in the novel as a whole. So pause the video to copy this out. Okay, and this is your suggested paragraph structure. You got your point. Use a signpost sentence to make a relevant point. Home is presented as. Evidence, show it through a quote. Analysis, talk about language or structure to pick out more information from that quote. Link, talk about the effect on the reader. But the key thing, now that we've done this quite a lot, this is just a starting point. You can use multiple quotes and refer to multiple language and structure devices in the same paragraph. And you should start challenging yourself to do this because Peel is just a basic starting point. Once you develop your analysis skills, it's just a scaffolding that you can build around to develop your answers more fully. So hopefully you're kind of elevating above Peel, use it as a starting point, but make your points as detailed and developed as you possibly can. Right, so time to begin. Best of luck. Remember, 15 minutes planning, or if you're short on time, 10 minutes planning, and half an hour writing. Best of luck, and off you go. And that is the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for your hard work. Really looking forward to seeing how you found the tri-weekly and what you came up with. I'm sure it was really good. And I look forward to interacting with you at our feedback lesson. So thank you once again. Have a lovely rest of your day.